A controversial decision to allow grizzly bears to be hunted for the first time in decades in Wyoming and Idaho is now on hold. A judge issued a temporary order blocking the hunts after the federal government lifted protections last year. He's considering whether the bears should be put back on the endangered species list. Stan Bush of our Denver station KCNC traveled to Wyoming to get both sides of the story.
These are the grizzlies caught in the crosshairs between hunters and environmentalists in northern Wyoming.
There's going to be cubs that are orphaned.
Wildlife photographer Tom Mangelson secured one of the 22 Wyoming permits granted to hunters. His goal, to prevent at least one hunter from killing the animals.
Bears are so special to all these people. This may be the only bear they get to see their whole lives. Now, if your hunter takes that bear, he robs that experience from literally millions of people.
Last week, 2 days before Wyoming and Idaho were set to open their first grizzly hunts in more than 40 years, a federal judge issued a 14-day restraining order, saying the threat of death to individual grizzly bears posed by the scheduled hunt is sufficient to justify a delay. Wildlife managers are asking the judge to allow the killing of 22 bears in Wyoming and 1 in Idaho to control the population and eliminate what they say is a threat to humans and livestock.
The truth about these bears is, they are very dangerous and they can do a lot of damage.
Taylor Ingham is a licensed guide for the grizzly hunts. He argues that because of successful conservation efforts, there are now too many grizzlies in the wild.
Since the 1970s, the state of Wyoming has spent tens of millions of dollars to bring these bears back to the population that they are. And it's a success story, that we can have a hunting season based on the strong population that we have now.
The National Park Service estimates that the grizzly bear population in and around Yellowstone increased from 136 in 1975 to an estimated 757 in 2014. But recently, the number has dropped to around 700. Mangelson argues the population has not grown significantly, due in part to climate change's effect on habitat. He and other environmentalists want the bears to be put back on the endangered species list. The animals were removed last year.
Predators kill, the weak and the sick, and we don't. We take the biggest bucks and the biggest bears, and it's sort of anti-natural selection.
A decision on the fate of the hunt could come by mid-September. For CBS This Morning, Stan Bush, Jackson, Wyoming.
They're dangerous, but such a beautiful animal.
I was going to say, they're so impressive.
Yeah.
They're just so beautiful.
I know there are both sides of this story, but the question is, are they really endangered? Because that seems to be the debate. And what's the defining number?
Yeah, that's really difficult. You look at, is 700 endangered? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll know soon.